In a sleek department of cultural analysis station orbiting Proxima Centauri b, Zara'kai Lythara hunched over an evolving map of human-digital interactions. The space around her hummed with layers of filtered transmissions, a gentle static filling the air like interstellar lullabies. Inside the lab's perfect sterility, her potted fern, a rare indulgence, provided a touch of green among the silvers and blues. She leaned forward, adjusting the holographic display with a flick of her hand. One network continued to pulse, an intriguing outlier amidst the vast web of data. "Zara'kai," a soft voice chimed. Zara'kai turned at the sound. Her assistant, a hovering AI unit, projected an ethereal glow across the lab. The unit's display blinked, showing an incoming signal, one that matched the peculiar pattern she had been monitoring. "Accept it," she instructed. With a hum, the lab shifted. The holographic display transformed into a direct feed. There, amidst the digital constellations and fragmented transmissions, was a face from light years away. Jaxon Starling, his image bathed in the warm glow of his own workspace, leaned back casually in his chair. A gentle smirk played on his lips as he sipped from a steaming mug. "Hello there," he greeted, voice tinged with curiosity. "I've noticed you've been keeping an eye on my network." Zara'kai straightened, her analytical mind racing. "Your network presents fascinating anomalies. I've never seen such intricate human-digital architectures before." Jaxon chuckled, setting his mug down. "Guess you could say it's a labor of love. You must be Zara'kai Lythara." Her surprise was palpable even across the vastness of space. "You know me?" "Your work precedes you," Jaxon replied smoothly, glancing at one of his monitors that showed data streams syncing with hers. "Your insights on human and alien cultural exchanges are quite something." A moment hung between them, thick with unspoken curiosity. "You're different from what I expected," Zara'kai admitted finally, her eyes scanning his features. Carefully tousled hair, relaxed posture, a slight crinkle around his eyes as he smiled. "I hope that's a good thing," he said. "I've been trying to catch your attention for weeks now." His words drifted across the stars, threading through Zara'kai's careful logic and unraveling something inside her. There was a warmth in his gaze, an openness that contrasted with the distance between them, a human sincerity she hadn't quite grasped until now. I'm glad you did," she replied, her voice carrying a new softness. "I have wanted to know more about you. Your methods of communication are highly unconventional. I guess that makes me an anomaly." He grinned, and his image flickered, briefly replaced by lines of code that flowed in mesmerizing patterns before stabilizing again. The digital dance captivated her. She noted the elegant simplicity of his coding style, each line expressive yet ordered, much like Jaxon himself. Her pulse quickened with every new discovery. "This version of human culture is far more intriguing than I anticipated," she said, her every word drawing her closer to him. Jaxon leaned forward, studying her as if she were a puzzle he couldn't wait to solve. "Where do we start?" Zara'kai felt a spark, more than curiosity, more than professional interest, a light within her. Her environment, usually a bastion of analytical calm, seemed to hum with unexpected energy. The ferns swayed as if sharing in her sudden exhilaration. "Perhaps a collaboration," she suggested. "Combining our research could yield unexpected results." "Like bringing two worlds together," he mused, his voice smooth yet earnest. "Yes," she agreed. "Very much like that." Zara'kai tilted her head, intrigued. "You disguised your transmissions to look like emergent patterns. I knew you couldn't resist a good puzzle." Jaxon's grin widened, his eyes meeting hers with a spark that traveled across the light years in an instant. A soft vibration shifted through Zara'kai's station as she considered him. His methods were unorthodox, certainly, but they had worked. Her curiosity deepened, blending with a newfound admiration for this human who defied expectations in such fascinating ways. "Why?" she asked, seeking to understand his motives. "Because there's no one else I'd rather work with," Jaxon replied, sincerity underscoring the playful lilt of his voice. "Would you be interested?" Zara'kai paused, assessing the implications that now extended as clearly as the data streams linking their stations. The logical choice was obvious, yet it exhilarated her more than she anticipated. "I'd like that," she said at last, her smile mirroring his. Weeks spun like stars in motion as Zara'kai and Jaxon dove into the complexities of human digital life together. Their exchanges became daily fixtures, threads of conversation weaving seamlessly with bursts of creative collaboration. The sterility of Zara'kai's lab softened under the glow of shared ideas and laughter that defied its isolated orbit. Jaxon's face, always open with humor and warmth, filled her holographic display as routinely as the maps she studied so closely. "I sent over those latest schematics," he said one evening, leaning forward with excitement. "Curious what you think. They are unlike anything I have seen." Zara'kai scrutinized the display, eyes lighting up with appreciation. Was this motif inspired by human game aesthetics? "I wanted to add a little flair," Jaxon admitted. "A nod to your research. Think it'll work?" Zara'kai felt a warmth blooming inside, a sensation both startling and delightful. His effort to incorporate her work into his designs was not only ingenious but personal, each schematic like a small gesture drawing them closer. "It's perfect," she said, her sincerity palpable. Jaxon, catching the shift in her tone, responded with an intensity that seemed to echo her own feelings back to her. "Then we're onto something." Their interaction hovered at the edge of something more than professional. Each project they completed added another layer to their connection, neither willing to name it yet reluctant to ignore it. As if sensing this new dynamic, Zara'kai's once sterile surroundings grew slowly more alive, cluttered with printouts of Jaxon's schematics, and covered in green lights that glowed from dozens of new plans. One evening, after discussing the latest data set, Jaxon's voice softened with an unexpected hint of vulnerability. "You know, I'm getting used to having you around every day." Zara'kai hesitated before allowing herself to mirror his candor. "I find myself looking forward to our talks more than I admit." There was a pause, a moment where time stretched and possibilities arose. The digital feed between them flickered, but neither reached for the switch. "Maybe it's time we met in person," Jaxon suggested, testing the waters with an earnest gaze. His words lingered, and at that precise moment, one of Zara'kai's screens began to flash. Data flowed with a sudden urgency, lines of code and patterns shifting to reveal something unexpected. Her breath caught. "Jaxon!" she exclaimed, eyes wide with excitement. "The networks. They're establishing emergent connections, more rapidly than I've observed." Jaxon leaned in closer, sharing her incredulity as he scanned the data streaming on her display. "It's working," he murmured, his voice tinged with awe. "They're adapting faster together than we thought." Zara'kai felt an exhilaration that filled every corner of her lab. The evidence unfolded before her eyes, a tapestry of interwoven digital cultures blossoming in real time. "This changes everything," she said, the implications still spinning in her mind. "We need to refine the algorithms," Jaxon suggested, his ingenuity quick to match her own as he dove into the logistics now lighting up both their screens. Another pause, this one electric with shared understanding and newfound possibilities. "This breakthrough, it's because of us," Zara'kai marveled, looking back at him across the distance that suddenly felt much smaller. Jaxon nodded, his smile carrying all the warmth and connection they had built. "A pretty good team, would you say?" "An exceptional one," she agreed. With renewed focus, they merged their efforts to explore this uncharted terrain, analyzing every angle like two explorers hungry for discovery. Long hours felt short, their inquiry fueled by an enthusiasm that was as personal as it was professional. In between solving puzzles and a late-night talking session, a notification flashed across both their displays, an invitation from the Intergalactic Academic Symposium. Their findings had garnered interstellar attention. "We're in?" Jaxon exclaimed, his eyes wide with excitement. "They want us to present." Zara'kai barely contained her astonishment. "That is unprecedented." They rarely invite human researchers, let alone joint ones. Jaxon grinned, the thrill of validation mingling with delight in their shared success. Looks like our little transgalactic experiment paid off. The conference hall buzzed with an eclectic mix of species and technologies. Zara'kai stood with Jaxon at the entryway, scanning a room alive with shifting lights and voices. Enormous screens displayed their data in cascading patterns, drawing curious onlookers. "This is a bit different from my usual presentations," Jaxon said, running a hand through his hair as he took in the scene. Zara'kai caught his gaze, offering reassurance. "Your work will speak for itself, as it always does." Their display began with dramatic flair. Human game-inspired visuals interwoven with intricate alien algorithms, a vibrant tapestry that told their story of collaboration. Enthusiastic murmurs rippled through the audience. A fellow xenoanthropologist approached Zara'kai after their presentation, skepticism mingling with intrigue. "Such unorthodox methods. How did you ensure integrity?" "By embracing the unpredictable nature of human systems," Zara'kai replied, unwavering. "It allowed for emergent connections we could not have anticipated otherwise." Jaxon joined her side, catching the end of the exchange. "The aliens have a saying," he added with a wink. "Think outside the species." Zara'kai observed the widening circles of interest. Her analytical mind raced with newfound optimism. "I believe this is only the beginning," she said softly, glancing at Jaxon as they received more congratulations. The excitement of the day lingered as they found a quiet corner to regroup. "Quite an audience," Jaxon remarked, a hint of amazement still coloring his voice. "I couldn't have done any of it without you." "Nor I without you," Zara'kai replied, noticing how natural it now felt to be by his side. The air between them held a charge that transcended their surroundings. Jaxon met her gaze, his expression open and earnest. "Ready for another adventure?" Zara'kai smiled, feeling the last of her reservations lift like weightless particles in space. "Ready for anything." She took his hand, a gesture both simple and momentous. Their partnership deepened into something inseparable. Professional accolades turned personal as humanity embraced alien culture with unprecedented enthusiasm. Jaxon and Zara'kai became symbols of this new era, their collaboration fostering unexpected bonds across light years. They alternated their home bases, weeks spent on Earth among Jaxon's digital playgrounds and months in orbit where Zara'kai's expertise continued to surprise even her closest colleagues. "The Council wants us to lead a new initiative," Jaxon announced one morning, his excitement filling the shared workspace on Proxima Centauri B. Zara'kai glanced up from her screen, intrigued. "Another experiment?" "Better than that, an entire cultural